Magic Fam, we are back with another movie review. Today we are reviewing Late Night with the Devil. It is a newer film, recently released in theaters in March of 2024. And we went opening night. We were really excited about this film, and we're big horror fans though. So again, that kind of tells you, it's not for everybody, but it definitely was for us. The whole movie centers around the idea of a 1970s, right? 1970s late night talk show. And the host obviously has a background story himself, but he has multiple hosts and kind of gives you a little bit of back history. They kind of dive into the history of the show, the struggles that the host went through, and kind of the peak of his late night show and what he did to kind of bring up ratings. And during one night, and I don't remember, was it during Halloween or was it close to Halloween?
Honestly, I'm not sure about the timeline of it all, but I do know that the movie is like the live recording. Well, not live recording. The recording of
the show.
Of the show the night he was trying to bring up his ratings.
Yeah. And so it all centers around the supernatural and the paranormal, and he has several talk show hosts or guests on his show they had like a medium and a skeptic. And then, of course, they had this young girl who had been rescued from a cult when she was very little, and she was taken in by was it a psychologist?
She's a doctor of sorts.
Yeah,
she had her doctorates,
and so she takes in this infant child. And was she an infant? Now I'm second guessing myself.
She was like a kid.
A little older. Okay,
a little older.
So a little bit older of a kid, obviously. So not an infant. Backtrack on that, but again, so she rescues her, takes her in, and really just helps her through life. And the whole story is there that obviously she's been through some trauma, and there's a lot of baggage that comes with that trauma. And so she comes on the show, and there's a couple of weird things that happen prior to her taking the stage with the late night host, but it kind of, all hell kind of breaks loose, and it's creepy, but 1970s horror movie creepy. So if you watch older films and you don't have a love and appreciation for that style of filmmaking, you might be turned off by this, but I personally loved it. It just felt like I was watching a late night show in the 70s. I was not born in the 70s. I'm not that old. Actually, that's wrong. Just because you were born in the 70s does not mean you're old. I was not born in the 70s. Okay, I just kind of threw myself under the bus with that one, but that's okay. So anyways, Alex, what did you think of this film? I'll shut up.
I really loved this movie, actually. I had no idea what to expect because I hadn't watched the trailer for the movie before going. I just was like, yeah, I'll go to the movies. And I thought it was really cool the way that the movie was like not found footage necessarily, but yeah, kind of found footage.
Yeah.
And it was just really interesting because it wasn't at all rushed. Like, you're sitting there, you feel like you're watching it. Stuff happens, but it's not like boom in your face, like somebody dies or something. Like, it was very well paced and very like believable that you were watching a late night like talk host show. And it wasn't cheesy, to be honest. Like, there were some parts that were kind of like, that's weird. But not in the...
So it was a little cheesy.
I don't think in the way
like
that some
1970s horror movie cheesy. Like, and again, we're not going to give away spoilers in this, but it was a little cheesy, but then when it got a little cheesy, you're like, you were brought full circle.
Yeah, because then they like backtracked and it made it less cheesy. Yeah. Like, it was intentional.
It brought you back to reality, and it's like, hey, this might have been an idea or some sort of... I don't want to give away, but it just brings it back full center, and it's like, hey, what you were just seeing may or may not have been real. Here's what's really happening. And I think that's where like the reality of it kind of sinks in, and you're like, okay, that is kind of creepy, like, now that I think about it. And they did kind of, I mean, they dove a little bit deeper into some of the background history of some of the characters and what they went through and why they're in the position they're in today. And I think that, I mean, some of that was kind of hard to watch. You know, you feel for the characters, and obviously what they're going through. But all in all, it's I really enjoyed the film. What did you think?
I also really liked it. It was a unique idea for sure.
Yeah, unique for sure. It will be coming out on Shudder in April, I believe, April 19th. If you have Shudder, it is also in theaters if you're watching this in late March, early April 2024. And let's go ahead and rate it. Anything else you want to say before we rate it?
No.
Cool. So I'm going to give it a 7. 7 out of 10. What do you give it?
Okay. I think I'm going to agree on this one too. I think I'd give it a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. More than decent. And it was creepy in many ways. And definitely check it out. So again, shout out to Icon Cinemas in Colorado Springs for hosting us and allowing us to watch Late Night with the Devil on the big screen. So again, check them out if you are local in Colorado Springs. And if not, check it out at your local theater. So take care, guys.